Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early April 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Piscean people. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What's going on for the Pisceans in early April, please? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces in early April. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for my friends. What do we got? My Pisces gang, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. So this could be very complex, and your energetic sensitivity could definitely be heightened, but usually when I see this card, there's a complexity to it. So whether it's certain situations where it's like, oh, there's more than what it seems, that could be very possible with this. Before we fully dive into that, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So I haven't seen it often in recent times. I probably haven't seen it in months for any sign. And we see this lovely lady. It looks like she's looking in a mirror. She's holding a mask. There's multiple mirrors with multiple reflections, and notice the desk has a whole bunch of tchotchkes on it. There's like the Russian doll, the babushka dolls, where it's like layer upon layer, and you keep opening the doll and there's more layers. So to me, it's like, okay, this seems like a pretty bland, regular, normal image, but there's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. So for some Pisceans, maybe there's certain situations that seem normal from the outside looking in, or seem like they're pretty simple, but there's a lot more layers than what it seems. Okay, so there could be various things where it's like, oh, it's a little more nuanced, it's a little more going on than we might perceive when this is here. Now, this does also tie into your energetic sensitivity, just because Pisces is so sensitive to energy. And you all know I'm a Pisces rising, so I get it. We feel energy on a different level. When this card shows up, watch out for feeling barraged by energy. This could be a lot of things, a lot of energies coming your way. So make sure you're protecting your energy in this time whenever I see this card. I feel like that's super important. Either that, or you might be very busy. Like if all that other stuff isn't the case, like this energy, there's so much happening. So your energy and focus might be in a lot of areas. So we're going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Pisces gang. What do we got in early April, please? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was centered around communication. The reading was titled A Surprise and Talk. So just know that, I mean, if one hasn't popped up, whether it's talking to someone you weren't expecting to talk to, or a conversation coming up that you weren't prepared to have, that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So there was a big emphasis on communication popping up out of nowhere. So do what you will with that information, but we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Pisces gang in early April, not late April. What are we talking about? Let's get these cards out. Thank you. 10 of Wands. Okay. I mean, that definitely doesn't sync the reading. I mean, you might have spirit testing you in one way or another. Let's get a couple more. You might need to recharge the batteries, my friends. Judgment, okay. So very fiery type of energy here with all this going on. Let's get one more. Makes sense. I was picking up the same thing for the other water signs this week, so okay. Yeah, the communication shows up, and you also have a bonus. So we got our good little pal here, the Page of Pentacles, chilling right there on the back. So the communication is still in the mix. And then we have Archangel Michael with Temperance right here on the back end. So tons of angelic energy, lots of powerful energy. That's one thing I will say. So that very first card makes sense. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, elementally, there's a lot of outside noise here. And you know, I like to look at the elements because it tells me like, all right, where's the energy focused? How's the energy moving? Notice on the split ends, we have fire and we have earth. Now, water and swords, so the cups and the swords, water and air, they represent the inner world. When we have earth and fire, that's the outer world, especially with the Ten of Wands, it's like outer expression. So think things like work, money, career, family, effort, energy levels, super important. It's like there's a lot of outside noise. That's initially what I'm picking up here. But judgment in the center with Archangel Gabriel. We got Archangel Michael here. There's just a lot of intense energy for Pisces this week, which makes sense. If you pay attention to what's going on astrologically, all the planets that have been moving through Pisces, the stuff that's in Aries, there's like a big concentration around people with Pisces placements right now. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out, because I don't feel like it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just intense. But position number one, we have the Ten of Wands. Now, this card is a double-edged sword, and I'll give you the positives first. We see that individual that got that whole big bundle of wands. Usually they're depicted walking up a hill. So in the positive, this is a card that continues to keep going. This is a card of determination. I'm going to keep pushing. Nothing's going to stop me. No matter how difficult something gets, I'm going to keep moving, even if it's at a slow pace. So I do love it for that, the determination aspect. But there are some warnings with this card. It is pretty burdened. So in this time, watch your energy levels. For some Pisces, you might be feeling a little zapped. You might be feeling a little down, like your energy. It's like, oh, I feel like I can't get out of bed type of energy. Watch out for your health when this card is here. But to me, it's just burdened. So for some of you, it might not even be physical. This could be like mental burden. It could be emotional burden. It could be someone you're connected to as well, where it's like there's something weighing heavy on me. So whether this is a problem or a situation, we're going to have to take a look. And also when it comes to the physical body, watch out for areas like the neck, back, and spine. When this card shows up, you might be holding tension there. Now, moving to the center, we have judgment. Very, very powerful change-based type of energy whenever we see judgment, the Archangel Gabriel. Now, this could be a lot of different things as well. I always say this is Plutonian type of energy, so it does represent transformation, change, shifting energy. So that could just be a big theme we're seeing here. And Pisces is a mutable sign. Pisces is pretty good with going with the flow and taking things as they come. So I don't see this as too much of a challenge for Pisces Collective, but it's just super intense, right? It really is. Now, sometimes judgment can represent things coming back into our lives, needing to make a strong judgment call on something, literal judgments. It could be in play whenever this card's in the mix. But I just think of change, and it is karmic as well. This is one of the karmic cards, and it's very powerful, very similar to the Tower. There's an intensity to it. So we will see. And when we go from like the wands to judgment, that's an explosive energy, and it could be very unpredictable. Now, moving to the back end, we have our good pal, and this is where the energy does seem to start calming down a little bit, which I think is nice, because especially with the bonus, but we have the Page of Pentacles right here. Now, I love this. It's earth sign energy. You might be connected to an earth sign, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Pages are new energy. They're fresh. All pages are students. All pages are messengers. So it makes sense when last week we had, you know, communication or surprising talks popping up, and now we have this page. There is something here around communication, possibly getting something off your chest. So we'll need to clarify this and say like, all right, is this a good thing? Is this a challenging thing? It all depends. The energy feels softer though, because we have all this intensity in the front, but then it seems to taper off. It seems to smooth out. So that might be a good thing for a lot of Pisces. Now, an issue that comes with page energy is that it's a new energy, so it's not guaranteed. This could be something that is fresh, it is new. Maybe you're learning something new, but it's like if you don't put enough effort into it, it's something that could go away. So it's not guaranteed. We'll have to look at it. I do feel like it could be connected to just communication. So we'll get more detail on that. On the back end, we do have a bonus card, which is Temperance. This is Sagittarius energy, so you might be connected to Sag. It has Archangel Michael depicted on it. So we have a ton of angelic protection around the Pisces Collective in this time, which is a beautiful thing. So maybe that's just reassurance that you need to know. But when I see this card, it's kind of Spirit saying like, all right, hold up for a second, hold off, don't do anything quite yet. Like when it comes up as a bonus. Sometimes it could be delays, But I'm not going to feed too much into that message. To me, it's just like, all right, patience, Pisces. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Pisces gang. What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 10 of Wands, see what's happening. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Let's go. Why is the 10 of Wands here? The one thing that I'm liking before we even get this next card out is the fact that, like, we do have this burdened energy, then a change, and then something softer. So I'm hoping that it's going to be something getting better or improving. But let's see. What's the 10 of Wands here? Thank you. Okay, cool. 10 of Pentacles, so it might be worth it. This is good. I mean, we do have the double tens, which for some Pisces, this especially coupled next to Judgment. Tens represent the close of a cycle, the close of a chapter. So again, with this karmic energy, there could be certain chapters closing out for some of you, but this doesn't feel bad. I feel like whatever burdens you're experiencing right now, or whatever test spirits throwing your way, it's going to be worth it, because the 10 of Pentacles is one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. It does speak of like leveling up. So this is victorious, beautiful type of energy. I just feel for a lot of Pisces, you're either going through some sort of metamorphosis or change, very powerful, or it's like I'm going to the next chapter. The last chapter is concluded. I'm moving over to the next one, which feels good. And change isn't always easy. Like, we do see it coming up here, but the 10 of Pentacles in the upright is lovely. Now, this can represent the home. This can represent the family, monetary things. But the fact that it's in the upright, although we have possible endings and chapters closing out, I do feel like in the long run, it'll pay off. Okay. So again, what today's struggles will be tomorrow's victories. That's kind of how it feels to me. So those are the main couple messages I'm picking up. Just pace yourself. Super important to pace yourself. Don't put too much on your plate. Mentally, emotionally, physically, work-based. It's like you need to pace yourself here. Think long game. Let's keep moving. Let's see what shows up. So yeah, interesting message here. Certain chapters could be closing out, but I do feel the change, and I feel that today's struggles are tomorrow's victories. So that looks good. Let's see what Judgment has. Let's see what the karmic energy has in store for Pisces. So why is Judgment here, my friends? Why is Judgment here for Pisces? Thank you. Something popping back up. Okay, so we do have the Knight of Swords in reverse under Judgment, and that to me just represents the energy swinging back around on something. Now, I have seen this for a few different signs, especially this week, the past couple of weeks, where there could be various things cycling back on you. Now, this is energy of change. I've been saying it since the beginning. We see it here in the front, but when I see Knight of Swords in reverse with Judgment, it's like something's returning. So just know, whether it's a situation that you're familiar with, a situation you've dealt with, and it's coming in fast and comes in hot. Okay, so whether it's like a surprising return, an unexpected return, when I see Judgment with the Knight of Swords, it's like, all right, yeah, the chapter was closed, but here, try this. So could be people you haven't talked to for a while. It could be situations you're familiar with. But for some reason, the cycle is looping. So I feel it's very important for some Pisces out there to try not to relive certain cycles. Easier said than done, but that's kind of how this feels, especially with recurring energy popping back up. Now, could be good for some of you. Could be more challenging for others. I guess it depends on what it is that pops back up. But something's returning in a pretty powerful way. So especially tied to the karmic energy. So it's like this karmic cycle repeats. So it's like karmic return of sorts. Let's see what's up with the Page of Pentacles. See if we get a little more information from that. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Page of Pentacles here? Pisces gang, please. What's going on for my friends? Thank you. Nine of Cups, cool. It's good. I mean, the end result is very good. So even though there's tension, and I said it very early in the beginning, like, listen, change could be difficult. Change is not easy. But when I see the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups, this is very welcoming. This is very opening, and the energy does seem to mellow out as it moves along. So if you are going through certain issues or transformations right now, It's not permanent. The energy will begin to soften up, which is something I really like. It's very encouraging. But yeah, the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups could be advice from Spirit saying like, listen, Pisces, just be open to what comes your way. That could be good if you broaden your horizons and you're just open to more possibilities. But the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups, whether it's very welcoming in regards to how someone's speaking to each other, it just feels very simple, very easy. But this, again, is another card of wish fulfillment and victory. So this could be like really good news. So it's like we have this intense energy, and then boom, the smooth wind-based type of energy comes in. So I do like it. Spirit could be asking you to be open to different possibilities for some reason too. Okay, like, all right, well, it might not be how you imagined it, or it might not be something you've exactly manifested, but if you're open to the possibilities of something, it could turn out really good for you. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. Powerful energy this week, Pisces. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the double tens, right? We have the 10 of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles in the upright. It does feel a little heavy for some Pisces. There could be chapters closing or ending out, but it feels like in the long run, it will be good for you. Still wind-based. And I did say today's struggles are tomorrow's victories. So it's like the two are connected. Moving into the middle, we have the Judgment card with the Knight of Swords in reverse. To me, this could represent something swinging back around on you, something returning. So whether a situation or an individual, it's like a karmic cycle returning. Usually it's not the best idea to like repeat past cycles, but you use your discernment, because for some of you it could be good. Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Pentacles, the conversation with the Nine of Cups. For some of you, this could be some really good news coming in, but I also got this little intuitive vibe of broadening your horizon and being open to possibilities that you weren't manifesting or you weren't thinking about. It's like, all right, if you open up your view, and if you're open to certain things, it might not be all you thought it would be, but it could still be good. There's still victorious energy here. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Pisces Gang. What is in the shadows for my good friends, please? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here. What do we got for Pisces, please? What do we got for Pisces Gang? Thank you. Okay, Emperor. We are in Aries season right now. So the energy tells me, especially with the Emperor in the shadows, if you're not connected to an Aries, if you don't have Aries placements yourself, it could just speak about the intense energy and intense transformational energy, probably lingering a little bit further than this week alone. Possibly the rest of Aries season. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the Emperor represents authority figures. It could represent taking the bull by the horns and, directing your own path. Anything revolving around control. So in this time, if we're looking at the challenging aspect of this, just know there could be certain things that are out of your hands. You might have extra issue with authority or authority figures when this card shows up in the shadows. But for some Pisces, maybe there is something more you can do to affect whatever situations you're dealing with. Maybe you have a little more control than you think you do when this card is here. So I think it's good for the most part. I guess it depends on your situation. So we're going to leave him right there, Pisces. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and get a little further insight into your situation, you can check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The April calendar is up, so feel free to go check it out and book. But for the April subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies, not 2, of one of my favorite decks of all time, the Gilded Tarot Royale. It's a gorgeous deck and it works fantastic. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could pick one tarot card to best describe you, which one would it be? Are you the Empress? Are you the High Priestess? Are you the Emperor, the Moon, the Sun? You put your answer down in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.